family have been in the building trade for 3 generations, and I spent a lot of my childhood on a building site and around men that have only ever been on building sites. And then I went to acting school and realised that's not how everyone felt and everyone thought. I kind of guess I've always thought it was interesting, people's mentality on a building site and the toughness that comes with it, and the rules that come with it. And then I lost someone in lockdown and kind of wanted to understand why, and then started writing this.
Rum is the story of Danny, who comes into, he thinks he's just picking up the tools from a plastering job, but he finds that his friend has punched holes through the wall and he's got to cover it up. But he's also got to get to an event that's happening later that day that's causing him a lot of stress.
Danny is a character that has lived in the building site and has lived by the rules and has loved living by those rules and has aspired to be the king, to do everything that he thinks is important. And then the play looks at him for the first time, kind of looking at his decisions and his lifestyle.
He's at a point in his life where everything is unravelling and he's trying everything he can to keep it together and stay in a kind of positive, everything's good, everything's funny, I'm just drinking, I'm just a lad kind of mindset.
You know, I went to acting school, I've been part of this kind of industry for a while, and the best storytellers I've ever met have been on a building site. They're so funny and tell stories that can't be true. And yet they are, and they just leave you shocked.
Rum is about rum behaviour, I guess, acting larger than life, but acting without responsibility, acting like you don't care. It looks at the kind of impact of that on how, on this character, and on how, when he's dealing with something quite intense, what happens if you can't talk about your emotions? What happens if you just don't have the language or the tools to reach out to other people? And what happens if you're living in a culture where that's not allowed, where softness is not accepted?
I think this is an important story right now because there's a lot of men's mental health stuff about, and I think it's very helpful. What I don't think there is an explanation for working class specifically as to why we don't speak. It's for people that might want to get an understanding of what it can be like inside the head of a man going through struggle in a working class background, toxic masculinity.
It's such an amazing piece of writing because you just get under the skin of this character who's putting up a front and who's been really trying to pretend he's okay, and I feel like that's so universal, this impact of society on him to pretend he's all right. So for me, this play really appeals to me as a woman, and I think it also will appeal to people with loads of experience in the building trade, and people who love theatre, and people who love a great story, beautifully told. It's funny, it's moving, it's an insight into a world I didn't really know much about. It's told with such heart and compassion, but also such kind of complexity. I just think it's a gripping and beautiful story.